The US credit card debt has officially risen over $1.28 trillion as of 2025. Not even Elon Musk can pay off our debt. But what's the big deal, you might be thinking? Nearly 1 out of 5 Americans can't handle a $100 emergency. Nearly 2 out of 5 Americans can't handle a $400 emergency. And over half of the American population can't handle a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. The big deal is that most of Americans don't know how to not spend the money that they don't have. We don't know how to save. And if you don't have a plan for your money, the system that keeps you in debt is gonna keep eating you alive. Now, you might have heard of this guy. This is Dave Ramsey, not to be confused with this guy.
What?
Dave Ramsey is a financial expert who has been helping people get out of debt for decades. Now, Dave is definitely old school, and some people might think that his advice is a little bit dated, but his system works. Now, what's his plan? He calls it the 7 baby steps. It's a step-by-step guide to getting out of debt. Unfortunately, Dave does make these baby steps seem super easy, but they progressively become more difficult. But we're not going to worry about the big steps today because I want to talk about baby step number 1. If you've never heard of Dave Ramsey before today, don't worry. I'm going to break down exactly what this first step is and explain why it's so difficult and the steps that you can take to actually achieve this first baby step or this first goal. Baby step number 1, save $1,000. It's a baby step. It's supposed to be easy, right? Now, you might be asking, is $1,000 really enough, especially now in 2026? Because $1,000 can barely cover a new set of tires or a decent water heater. Now, Dave understands that. I understand that. But the reason that goal number 1 is only $1,000 isn't because it's supposed to cover a total disaster. It's an emergency fund. It's meant to be just enough to keep you from using your credit card or going into debt for smaller stuff. Now, if the goal was something like $10,000 for baby step number 1, most people would probably give up before they even started. $1,000 is small enough to get started and to kind of prove to yourself that you can actually save a little bit of money. And it's a small enough amount of money that you can potentially save up fairly quickly. Now, Dave Ramsey always talks about Murphy's Law. The idea that if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. So when you have no money and you're in debt, Murphy essentially lives on your couch. Your car breaks down, your kids get sick, your fridge goes out, you didn't get paid this week. It all just seems to pile on and happen all at once. But when you have a designated emergency fund with $1,000 in it, it changes things a little bit. Suddenly that flat tire isn't the crisis that ruins your life. It's just an inconvenience that you now have to pay with cash. Think of the $1,000 as a Murphy repellent. It keeps the small problems turning into big problems and eventually into big debt later down the road. If it's just $1,000, why is it so difficult? Some people might even say it's impossible. Well, it's because we live in a now economy. Every app on your phone, every ad, everything around you and everyone around you wants you to spend all of your money. We've been trained to think that if I have $100 in my pocket, I need to spend it. But the truth is, if you don't have an emergency fund, that $100 belongs to your next financial problem. Now, saving is so difficult because it requires you to say no. It requires you to put your wants and your desires on hold and have a little self-control. Now, our economy has trained us to say it's not okay to have self-control, that we need to spend everything we have and then some to buy everything. If you're staring at your bank account thinking, I don't have an extra dime to even get started with $1,000, here are a few tips and a few ways that you can start your journey into getting that $1,000 emergency fund. Cut out your subscriptions. Check your bank statement, because I bet you're paying for at least 1 or 2 subscriptions that you haven't used in months. Kill them today. That's an extra $30 to $50 a month that you can start saving right now. You don't need 5 streaming services to watch 1 show. Sacrifice a little. Check out Marketplace. Look into your garage or your closet, and if you haven't used something in over a year, sell it. An old lawnmower, a gaming console. You can get pretty far in your goal by selling stuff you don't use anymore. You can also open up a separate savings account in a completely different bank than the one you're using. You can set up an automatic transfer to take $25 from your checking account over to this other savings account. Imagine that you're making a payment. That way you know that you're saving at least $25 a month or whatever it is that you choose to do. Now, another way that you can get a little bit more money, honestly, if you have time for it, get a part-time job or do some food delivery driving. You don't have to work a full-time job to save $1,000. Doing the math, if you work 10 hours at minimum wage per week, you can save $1,000 in just a few months. Now, there's a ton of things that you can do to save $1,000, even on top of all of your expenses. If you really want to get out of debt, you'll find a way to make it happen. For most of you, if you got yourself in debt, you can get yourself out. And even if you're not in debt, this is still a great plan to set you up with your finances for the future. And look, guys, the point of baby step number 1 isn't to make you rich, and it's not even to get you out of debt yet. It's to help you stay out of debt, and it's to help you not spiral out of financial control when an emergency does happen. And it also starts helping you build that habit of saving and saying no to an immediate want. But just like school, I do need to leave you with some homework. Now, if you're up for it, go start your emergency fund. Find $50 somehow. Sell something. Cancel a subscription. Open up a separate savings account. The important thing is that you need to start. And set a time frame for yourself. Do you want to have your $1,000 emergency fund within a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year? Whatever it is, stick with it. Save $50 a week or $100 a month. Whatever it is, make payments to yourself or make payments to your emergency fund. Once you have that set and once you have your $1,000, then you can move on to baby step number 2. But I'm going to wrap this video up. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.